Parogon came into being in 2007. It was the brainchild of 4 friends from school: myself, James, Phil, and David. The idea was to bring quality dining with great food and service in beautiful surroundings into Staffordshire for the first time. There was never a thought in the early days that we would get to a £30 million turnover and 11 sites, which is where we are today. However, the potential was there. You could see that, and it was probably 12 months in that we started to think, actually, we can grow this business. It was difficult to find the right sites because we wanted iconic sites that would make a real impact on the local community. I'd never worked in hospitality before, and it was something of a baptism of fire for sure. However, we were successful, and we went on, and the bits that made Parogon super successful in those days were the people that were involved in the business.
My name's Ben Allison. I've been working at Parogon for coming up to 14 years now. I currently work in our head office looking after projects for the company. When you work at Parogon, there's a lot of emphasis on us knowing the whole of the business and knowing it in its entirety. So working kind of front of house was a great understanding of the business and aspects of that side, but then getting the kitchen knowledge and understanding how the back of house works is a really useful tool and great fun. The journey to B Corp started a couple of years ago, and it was something that at first I didn't understand. It was something Richard kind of spoke to me about and said, I'd like to go down this route.
B Corp it's an organisation that tests and certifies businesses.
They take in how you run, they look at your governance. They have a term where they look at your workers and how you treat your workers.
It's a measure of your social and environmental impact.
And then they look at your community and what you do for your local community.
It's a super broad measure, but ultimately for us, it's measuring us as a force for good. Andy Phillips and Map Room have been instrumental in us being able to achieve B Corp status in what was actually an extremely short amount of time.
Map Room, it was one that from the beginning, Rich was able to say, this is Map Room, they'll be fantastic in supporting you through this journey of B Corp.
We spoke with Richard and with Ben about their goal to become B Corp certified, and we placed one of our directors on the project who has a wealth of experience in this space.
I was on my own trying to take us through this B Corp journey, and actually having an outside person who could help us, who could check me and say, here you go, have you thought about this? And give me a different insight into things as well.
It's not a tick box exercise. To achieve certification, a business has to not just talk the talk, but demonstrate how they meet the requirements that B Corp sets out. And when you think about that, right, you can't do that unless you truly care about your people, if you truly care about your impact socially and environmentally, or unless you are completely transparent in how you operate. And when we think about brands these days, customers are so much more conscious in terms of who they give their loyalty to. So there's an argument that you could say a brand isn't owned by the business itself, but by those who draw value and meaning from it. And for me, that's why B Corp is really important and why it matters commercially as well. Because when a business gets it right, when they take this stuff seriously, when they are transparent, customers will feel proud to be associated with them, and the reward will be evident in their loyalty and advocacy. And Parogon meets all of these requirements. It's a partnership we're really proud of, and we're really happy to have played a part in them achieving this great milestone.
Something that we could be really, really proud of was that with local suppliers over the past 17 years, we've really got a great relationship with them, and we've maintained our spend with suppliers in the local region. And that, as you were going through the process and going through the journey and collating data to show B Corp what it is that we do, seeing that in tangible numbers and being like, yeah, all of our spend is with local suppliers, that was really rewarding.
We've always tried to support local businesses when we were selecting suppliers. It's important that we select aligned businesses that have the same goals as us. A great example would be the Catering Butcher, owned by Dave Jackson, and Dave now operates an entire fleet of electric vehicles, for instance, and was one of the first businesses locally to use solar to supply most of his energy.
Yeah, we've been working with the Parogon Group for almost 2 decades, which is an incredible length of time. This truly is, really is a special relationship, and we see ourselves very much as a supply partner. We have daily communication, and we're extremely proud. Extremely proud to be a tiny part of their phenomenal success story. We've been in communication with the guys, and we've been pushing ourselves here over the last 5 years. So over the last 5 years, we've installed a very large solar panel system which covers the entire roof of the factory, which on a sunny day makes us completely self-sustaining and gives us a surplus, to be fair, which we can then harness and charge our electric vans up at night. We've just bought our 5th electric vehicle. We've abolished all polystyrene packaging because that's not recyclable and not good. And we're battling with the cutting down on plastics. We've managed to reduce it by 20% by reducing the gauge of plastic packaging we buy, making it a little bit thinner, increasing pack size. We push more cardboard packaging in, which is recyclable. And there's some of the things that we are doing right now with all customers and obviously the Parogon Group.
There is a growing element of the community that understands that businesses have a huge impact and you can make a difference. So locally, we are renowned for supporting local charities and raising hundreds of thousands of pounds for them, supporting grassroots sport at all levels locally. And also the teams, the development that we put into people is what makes us different. And I think customers, they acknowledge that and they want to come to places where they know you're doing more than just serving food.
Partnership with Parogon's absolutely brilliant. They've been really, really brilliant supporters of ours since 2016. And this year at our Business Partnership Awards, they were awarded a milestone award of raising over £100,000 for the hospice. I think my most memorable moment of working with Parogon was when they all turned up to volunteer at the first Midnight to Sunrise walk that they sponsored. And it was just so amazing to see them all coming, and we got people with marshalling, everybody just stood there, they're getting all the briefs and everything together. We got some of the staff on the glitter stations, and they were just so excited to be involved. You could tell it was something completely out of the norm, and actually it allowed them to meet our supporters who were taking part on the night. And although it was a long night, it was really tiring, they were up late, which I know most of them will probably be used to, but actually seeing them all together and how much they enjoyed it and how much they got out of it was absolutely fantastic.
So B Corp for us, as we were looking at their pillars and how they go through the certain elements, it resonated with our core values. And as we went through the journey, we answered questions about our guests and about our team and about our community. What was really rewarding is that actually at the first time in verification, we received it.
It was a huge milestone to achieve B Corp status, no question about it. And I'm super proud that it's another accolade for Parogon that really signifies that we are a different kind of hospitality business, but it also is the platform for us to go forward. It also shows us how serious we are about being a sustainable business in the future.
I mentioned we love to be better. So it's like, okay, what's the next stage? We're not just happy with a stamp. How do we actually become better and how do we move it forward? So I'm really excited to see actually how we are transparent with everyone on our journey over the next 3 years and how we improve.
Parogon has got an amazing foundation. We've got 11 sites, £30 million turnover business with nearly 700 staff. I am excited about the future. We have opened a new site within the last few weeks. We are looking at opening 3 or 4 sites a year and bringing what we do to different communities in a sustainable fashion. And I believe that the next few years for Parogon are actually going to be the most exciting.
I think the greatest thing about working at Parogon is both the development and how it gives back to the community. I think the work we do with charities like the Dougie Mac has been really impactful, and the relationship we've built with them is incredible. When you work these hours of this group of people, you become more than just co-workers. You do become friends, which sounds a bit sappy, but you do actually become friends of a lot of these guys. And so every day will have its funny moments. I don't think if I didn't have a laugh coming to work, I probably wouldn't still do it. I think my one favourite meal is the Bolognese spring rolls at the Orange Tree. A really great matchup of two different cuisines that I didn't think would quite work, but it is absolutely knockout.
So I think my most memorable moment was becoming general manager. I'd already been with the company a couple of years, had already done this since I could start work, and having that responsibility and being able to build my own team was really exciting. The people within Parogon, people that I work with at Swan particularly that I've known for many, many years, a lot of us have been here for a long time. So Pascal and Laurie, they've been here for like 10 plus years as well. They are part of my family, extended family. Oh, chicken hammerlick pie.
Why do you love that? What is it about?
It's just a nice hearty dish.
You know, you're not the only person to have said that.
Really?